Oh man, what's the business? You already know what time it is. It's your folk Marquise, and welcome to another episode of Playing Maturity. That's right, man. Welcome to another episode of Playing Maturity, where we are here to bring a message of maturity to millennials and their minors in an effort to create the perfect citizen. So check this out, man. As you already know by now, the election has come and gone. You already know who won the election. So the title of this message is, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Now, I've never sought to be like overly political and get into those type of things on this particular portion of my channel. For anybody that's been following me for any number of years or any time, any amount of time, I've shared my opinion on many things. As y'all know, I do minister as well. I've been on the radio for a year. I've been on television. I've shared my thoughts in many different avenues. I've written a book. Even before Overstanding, I wrote another book, Weapons of Mass Destruction, WMD, where I talk about the deeper things, the conspiracy theory types of things, and share my position and point on those type of things. So I don't really want this particular part of my channel to be about that. So I'll just continue to flow with what I have been sharing with y'all from that place. So where do we go from here? Now more than ever that I've seen, America has been divided. As you know, last week we discussed the valley of decision. We going left, we going right. As you know, before that, there were some episodes where I discussed that we are divided and then conquered. So we have to ask ourselves, where do we go from here? With this election stuff, I've heard about families breaking up. I've heard about relationships. I mean, full-blown, absolute, actual relationships ending over who vote for who. And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. So where do we go from here? The current president clearly has to finish out his term or whatever the case is, but I've been hearing about chatter about, you know, the ballots not 100% and all this. So things could get very ugly really soon. So where do we go from here? I've shared in past videos, if you haven't seen them, love conquers all. We got to be willing to discuss our differences in a proper manner and come to some type of agreement on things. We can't say, oh, I'm Democrat. Oh, I'm Republican. Well, I don't like you no more. Well, I don't like you no more. Just because of a particular party that we represent. We're all human beings and we have common goals. I've never been for racism. So clearly that's an issue that's at hand that's being continuously discussed. Love conquers all. We're more alike than we are different. Truly. But we have to be willing to look in the mirror. We have to be willing to look at each other and say, you know what? You're a person like I'm a person. You got a family like I got a family. I forgive you. Do you forgive me? Let's start over. Let's work this out. You know, so many times in culture, we can be so selfish. The man can be so selfish. The woman can be so selfish. The blacks can be so selfish. The whites can be so selfish. People can be selfish. People can just be selfish. And through military service and my walk with God and my higher power, I've come to find out more and more that when you are selfless, the more you are selfless, it's so much easier. It's so much better. Of course you'll have your wants. Of course you'll have your needs. Of course you'll have your desires. However, when you learn to be selfless, to serve first, it changes you. It really does. I was just watching Impact Theory earlier. Shout out Tom Billiou. Maybe by y'all's grace one day I'll be on the show. But I was watching Impact Theory and he was talking to Robin Sharma. Shout out to Robin Sharma. Look forward to meeting you one day. And just to hear about this man, Robin Sharma, who has made multiple millions of dollars, sold millions and millions of books, and traveled the world. I mean, living at such a high level, who's coached, you know, multiple billionaires and people in all high levels, extremely high levels of industry. So of course I'm listening to what this man is saying because he's been a coach to billionaires. I'm not even at six figures yet. So I look to go to six figures, seven figures, 8 and beyond. So he's coaching these individuals, and just to hear his heart on how he speaks and to hear his values set. And he talks about service, just unrelenting service. He wrote a book that's called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Now, whether he sold his Ferrari or not, I guess he did, just to hear his heart and his position. So, of course, I'm listening to this man. He's coached multiple billionaires and high-ranking individuals and high-level performers of industry. So, I want to hear what he has to say about these type of things. And to hear that his position is straight service. Straight service. He wrote a book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Now, to me, I don't know if he sold his Ferrari or, it's the principle of the matter. Maybe he did. I don't know. I'm not even calling him a monk, but I'm just saying that was the book that he wrote, and it sold over 10 million copies. I think 15 million or more. So clearly people have found great value for what he had to say in that. But just hearing him talk to Tom, his thing was service, serve people, impact people. Of course, money is important. No longer do I use the language to say, oh, the money's not important. The money is important. Money has value in this society, period. Money has allotted me this camera. Money has allotted me, to be able to make these shirts, to sell the shirts, to impact people. We don't need to take that class. Money is important. I don't love money. I don't worship money. Money is an instrument, and I use it as such. It is a tool, and I use it as such. That's the end of the story. I provide value. I provide a service. Bam, I get recompense or compensated for my service. That's it. And we can move on. But to hear his heart on service, selflessness, man, this is what it's about. So where do we go from here? If you blue, you Democrat, I'm red, I'm Republican, or I'm blue, Democrat, you red, Republican. You shouldn't hate me because of that. I shouldn't hate you because of that. So we have to take responsibility as humans. We have to take responsibility as people. We all people. Don't let these people that's in power manipulate us to the point of hatred. Love one another. Above all, love conquers all. It's your folk Marquise. You already know what time it is. We're going to be here next Monday. But I just want to encourage you to check out the website. Check out the shirt. Think different, live different. When I look at this shirt, as I'm walking through life, my own self, I'm reminded. When I think different, I get a different result. Life happens. We all have habits. Some serve us. Some don't serve us. If these habits that are not serving us are continuously sabotaging our lives, we got to sit and focus and impose our will, as Inky said. Inky Johnson, impose our will on making these changes. I'm going to eat an apple today, or I'm going to eat, this bologna sandwich, or whatever the case may be. So I encourage you, go ahead, show some love, think different, live different. The book, Overstanding, a comprehensive look at gangster rap. To be so honest with y'all, I'm waiting on the designer to give me the cover. I had the book cover, everything was done, so that's where we are. But the book is available for pre-order. Soon as the guy give me the cover, then I will get this book out to y'all. So go ahead and go to the website and pre-order the book. That's just the reality of the game. Life is full of imperfections. You can try your hardest and do everything you need to do, but working with people, there's the reality of the human experience of imperfection. So it's your folk Marquise. You already know what time it is. You think different. You're going to live different. Any questions? Y'all bless.